Alright guys, so we're here in Florida for Daytona, but while we were here we thought we'd stop in and visit our friends at National Parts Depot and check out their awesome car collection. Let's go check it out. Alright guys, so I'm here at the National Parts Depot's private collection. Pretty much anything you can think of is here, from classics from 1903 all the way up to these super unique Lincoln Continentals that were built for the Ford family, modern cars, classic cars, concept cars, the 50 millionth Ford, the 100 millionth Ford, a lot of really significant cars. So let's just go ahead and start checking out some of these. Alright, so some of my favorite cars in this collection are these Lincoln Continentals, especially this one, the Honolulu Blue, which is owned by William C. Ford. Really cool color. It was a custom color, and the cool thing was as he drove the car and it got older and he wanted to refresh it, he actually sent it back to the factory. They put it back on the assembly line and they put a 460 in it, and this car actually, with the 460 fully restored, won Pebble Beach. So it's a pretty significant car. So this 56 Continental was ordered by Henry Ford II for his wife. As you can see, this one has no hood ornament. It's the only one ordered without a hood ornament. It also has a canvas top. Each one of these cars was very exclusive in its time and cost more than a Rolls Royce. These were about $9,000 in 1956. So very expensive, very exclusive, and absolutely awesome to see these cars in this condition, fully restored. Absolutely beautiful. So NPD kind of got their start restoring Thunderbirds and selling Thunderbird parts, so these cars are very significant because this is kind of how the company got started. What you're looking at here, this black car, is a 1957 Thunderbird convertible F code, which means it got the 312 with a Paxton supercharger and the Holley carburetor. This was the hottest rod Thunderbird you could buy back in the day, and absolutely gorgeous. It looks like it has kind of a reddish clay colored interior too, which is really pretty. But 57 was the last of the two-door small sporty Thunderbirds. After this, the Thunderbird got much bigger. Beautiful fuel injected Corvette Roadster. Very cool. The quality on these restorations is amazing. Some of these cars are actually all original. Beautiful. This Turnbike Cruiser from Mercury is super cool. These were very Buck Rogers-like, with the mirror that also is a spotlight. This one's got twin carburetors on it, 335. Beautiful car. The interior in these is also very Buck Rogers, kind of like space race looking. The steering wheel's not even round on these. They're kind of got a square bottom, but very neat car. This one's got the big Continental kit. I mean, they're just so massive. And just amazing to see cars like this perfect and original. '58 Ford Skyline. Now, it may not look like it, but this is actually a hardtop convertible. This line right here is a split, and this entire roof goes into the back of this massive trunk, which, I mean, the scale of this car is really hard to tell because it doesn't fit in the frame of my camera, but this is a big car, and that folding hardtop was super innovative back in the day. Beautiful. So this car here is a 1959 Ford Galaxie, and it is a 50 millionth Ford ever built. Now, I had a 59 Ford ranch wagon, which is very similar to this, but mine was a big four-door station wagon. Super cool car. Probably has a 352 Y block, would be my guess. But very cool. And this is actually the 50 millionth Ford ever built. Classic Chevy Impala convertible. A Lincoln Continental convertible. This is a 1960. Super funky. I love this kind of split grille with the big headlights. Beautiful color. It's kind of a dusk rose color, very, very pretty. And here is a four-door Continental, kind of a minty green, also very, very pretty. Buick. Pontiac Bonneville. Now that is a pretty car. It's kind of a ember glow color. That's a 1960. Super cool. Got a 61 Chevrolet Impala Sport. A 61 Galaxie. And a 62 Oldsmobile Starfire. Now all the cars are actually in chronological order for the most part. There's a few he said were out of place, but basically we start over here in 1903 and we go all the way down and around and we end up in the modern era in the back room, because this isn't the whole thing. There's a whole nother room full of cars too. 1962 Galaxie, 63 Cadillac, 63 Chevy Impala Ss Sport Coupe. Now that is a really pretty car. Love the gold color, black interior with that beautiful center console with the engine turned aluminum. Super cool. Look at that, the SS badge. That is the Impala to have. Another classic Impala right next to it. I mean, these are just phenomenal cars. Four probably. Lincoln Continental convertible, very cool. I kind of fell in love with these cars watching old reruns of like Mission Impossible, because that was one of the cars that was featured in that show. 65 or 6 Galaxie. Now I had a 67 Galaxie 500 in high school, and it's very similar but a little more edgy on the 67s, but very, very cool car. And this is the 500 XL, so it's got the bucket seats, red interior, very, very cool. Grand Prix, Pontiac Bonneville, big Cadillacs. Again, it's kind of hard to sometimes remember how big cars were when you've been driving my little BMW every day. These things are just massive. And this is super cool, 1966 Oldsmobile Tornado. So that's just the first row. Now we're going to do the second row. We still have a whole other room and another row in this room. There's a Pontiac Firebird with the white Landau top. Very, very cool. 1968 Ford Torino GT Fastback. Very cool car. Here's a 68 Thunderbird. Now, compared to those 55 and 7 Thunderbirds, as you can see, they changed a little bit in a decade. Much bigger. The hideaway headlights on this one's really cool. Neat car, but just completely different than the original Thunderbird concept. Late 60s Continental. Oldsmobile 442. Pretty much everything's in here. Another Thunderbird. Yeah, here's a unique Thunderbird. I mean, it's just gigantic. So that's probably like a 70, I would guess 69 or 70 Thunderbird. Continental, Oldsmobile, Tornado. Here's another Tornado, but a later model. Another Torino. This is like the Starsky and Hutch body style Torino. Super cool. Grand Torino Sport. Very, very cool. Mercury Cougar XR7 convertible. So this is like a 71 or 72. So this is based on a Ford Mustang. You see a lot of Mustang parts on it. Seats are basically Mustang seats. Door handles are basically Mustang door handles. A lot of Mustang parts. So we're kind of getting into the 70s and now kind of into the 80s. And then randomly at the end of our aisle of 1980s, we have a Ford GT. Super, super cool. Dark blue with white stripes. Very cool car. Over here we got, now again, some of these are out of order. So obviously 80s, we picked up the late 70s, early 80s over here. We got a Corvette Stingray, the ZL1 Camaro, Bentley Continental GT, very cool. And now we're kind of back into the flow of the vintage stuff. Another Continentals. So both of these cars are Continentals, the Bentley version and the Lincoln version. Chrysler New Yorker. My grandma had one of those. That is super funky. Big, huge Mercury. I like this two-tone green. Check out the, like, leather-covered headlights. So these are hideaway headlights, but it's literally got like vinyl with like a crest on it over the headlights. Super, super 70s, 80s. But these are kind of the first Fox body cars, which gave us the Fox body Ford Mustang and the SVOs and all the other cars that came out of that era. So pretty cool. Back into the big Continentals. Look at this one. This one's got, I mean, again, the scale is so hard. Look how much room you have in front of the front wheel. It's just so crazy how big these cars are. And this one's got a giant sunroof, super luxe interior. It's got a CB. I mean, if you had this in 1981, you were kind of king of the world. And that is both really cool and also kind of sad. This one's kind of a flesh tone too, which is a little strange. Another big. So this is a really neat car, and this was explained to me that this is a Pontiac Fire Am, which was created by a guy named Herb, who was like the godfather of the Trans Ams. But how it was explained to me, this is kind of like the first Saline type company where they would take a factory car, tune it, and then resell it through dealers. So pretty significant car. This is what they call a Stage 3 Fire Am. And National Parts Depot actually does a lot of reproduction parts for these, including these pretty amazing graphics. We've got the Daytona 500 pace car Firebird Trans Am, which is super cool since we're here for the Daytona 500 this weekend. It's got the NASCAR on it, the big ducktail. I mean, this is super, super cool. And again, all these cars are like mint condition, fully restored or original. Just absolutely unreal how clean these are. Got a turbo 4.9 Trans Am, very bandit-y, black and gold. Another Trans Am, red. I mean, just look at that. So cool. A W30 Oldsmobile, very rare. Look at this. Original seat covers on it. Original window sticker still on it. This is the Hertz. Brand new, this car in, what year is this? 1979. Was $11,000. $11,000 is a lot of money in 1979, and that is super funky. All right, so that is the second row. Now we're gonna go to the back room, and then we're gonna come back and do the Mustang section. These cars win a few awards too. Just a few. All right, so now we're kind of into the Radwood era. We've got Firebirds and Thunderbirds and Maserati Chryslers and 3000 GT Dodge Stealths and Corvettes and all kinds of fun stuff. So let's check out some of these awesome 1980s and 90s rides that are in this room. It just keeps going. All right, Asc Mclaren. So I was just at a McLaren event, and I was talking to the guys that the only McLaren I could currently afford would probably be this one here, an Asc Mclaren Capri, which is super cool. They were like two-seat Roadster versions of the Fox body Mustang. Pretty unique. Different seats, different windshield rake, different top, rear seat delete. Very, very cool cars. Love the basket weave wheels on these. Very, very neat. We got a Buick Grand National here that's brand new, window sticker, under like 13 miles on it. We have a Pontiac Firebird Sun Tour, which was by Asc Mclaren. We got this really unique body kit. Super cool interior, really aggressive bucket seats, a glass Targa roof replacement. Again, really cool, funky body kit styling. So this is a really neat car. Perfect next to it is basically a brand new Pontiac Fiero GT, which was kind of one of the coolest Pontiacs they ever actually built. Now this is a Thunderbird Super Coupe. If you watch my video where I went cross country, the car I drove was very similar to this. Mine was a V8 though. The Super Coupe was a 3.8 liter V6 with a supercharger, front mount intercooler from the factory. This one is brand new. My friend Leo would be having a heart attack because he is a huge Super Coupe fanatic, and this is like the best one I've ever seen. So that is super cool. Pontiac Firebird turbos, T-tops, brand new. Another brand new Thunderbird Super Coupe. Window sticker and everything intact. Absolutely awesome. Look how cool these cars were. The Maserati Chrysler LeBaron kind of like combo car. These are funky. So basically it was like a Chrysler LeBaron they sent to Maserati, and they did all this, like they put this hard top on it, really luxe interior, and kind of gave you a budget Maserati with a Chrysler drivetrain. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Some twin turbo Dodge Stealths, you know, the Mitsubishi 3000 GT Dodge Stealth, super cool car from the era, very neat. We got a 40th anniversary Corvette, that's brand new, window stickers and all. Jaguar, Impala Ss. These were the car back in the day. If you were building a lowrider or even just a drag car, you just wanted a fast four-door, you got the Impala Ss. A Ford Ka, a Touring Ka. That is super cool. Now this must be one of the concept cars they were telling me about that wasn't really supposed to be sold. They're not really a production vehicle. This was bodied by Ghia, and these are super, super neat. I've always wanted a Ford Ka or a Ford Ka, but super cool to actually see this in person. Look at the interior in this. This is a beautiful car. Very, very. So from the Touring Ka or Touring Ka, we have the My Mercury concept car, which is super unique. Again, this is not a production vehicle. It was only built for show concepts, and how it got onto the public, we don't really know. But the My Mercury was super, super innovative, very cool, and kind of one of the last cool concept cars to come out of Mercury before Ford decided to fold them up. This is the original prototype, or one of the original prototypes, of the Ford Tempo. Not a super significant car as far as most people are concerned collector-wise, but this car technically doesn't exist according to this note. This car don't exist, was destroyed in 1984. 1984 prototype, one of a kind. Very cool, a little unique, and you can tell it's a prototype by some of just the parts on it and things like that. It was kind of just probably a running test mule or a show mock-up. Kind of interesting. Thunderbird, Cadillac Roadster, super cool. Kind of your standard Mercury, Ford Fusion. Porsche, Mercury, Lincoln, Ford Fairlane, Thunderbird, another Continental. I don't know, what is this one? This is a Plymouth? What is this thing? Pontiac? Let's see what this is. Oh, it's a 69 Mercury Marauder X100. Alright. I had never seen one of those before, but there you go. The Mercury Marauder X100. That thing is an absolute boat. Cadillac Eldorado. Ooh. Shelby GT 350. Wow. Absolutely gorgeous car. Brand new. Window sticker still intact. Shelby GT 350R. $67,000. Random Oldsmobile minivan. Another Continental. Mach One. I actually really like these cars. These are really cool. The like 04 Mach Ones. Camaro. 67 Mustang GTA race car. Kind of a race car. It's got a full cage in it. Got some drag wheels on it. That's pretty cool. Oh, a Saline truck. Oh, these are so cool. So back when I was a kid, my dad used to work for a company called Grizzly Products, and they actually built a very similar truck to this on this body style of Ford Ranger, and I wanted it really bad, but then my uncle actually crashed it, so I never got it. But this is super cool. And it looks like Mr. Saline has a little bit of a transmission leak. Camaro. Z28. Very cool. SRT10, the Viper-powered crazy truck that Dodge built for a little while. RS Camaro, a beautiful C10. The SSR, I think that's what that was called, that kind of weird roadster truck. A Lightning, a proper Lightning, very cool. A brand new Chevy S10. What is this one? Fleet side. Rotary International Edition. Alright. Well, if you are looking for a brand new S10 Rotary International Edition to gauge your restoration on, they have one at NPD. So here are some really rad concept trucks. So we have the Fox Silverado, the Ford Ranger Powerforce. Look at that, super cool. I love the wheels on this Ranger. I mean, super aggressive, very funky. And then like an F250 Powerforce, crazy concept, very cool. Let's see what the inside of this one looks like. Yeah, so this is like the F250 Powerforce. Very funky, kind of like Mustang inspired taillights, like 94 Mustang. Very cool. I don't know how long this video is going to have to be to kind of show you guys everything, but these Powerforces are really cool. We've got a 56 Ford panel truck that's super cool. We've got a brand new 91 GMC Syclone. Let's check that one out. So the GMC Syclone back in 91 was basically a hot rod pickup truck. They took the 4.3 liter V6 turbo out of the Buick Grand National and stuck it in this little Chevy pickup truck, called a GMC Syclone. So this is basically the size of an S10, but with a turbocharged V6 and a lot of other go-fast goodies. Super cool. Now, this car I remember from the Optima Street Car Challenge. Very cool Pontiac. And apparently it's for sale, so this one might be available. Really funky interior. Super cool car. I mean, just insane. Now we're getting into some trucks. So these are all classics. Just, again, a lot of NOS, brand new, never sold to the public. And this one's accessoried out to the gills. I mean, it's got fog lights, it's got a spotlight, it's got accessory mirrors, it's got accessory window things, it's got these bed rail caps, it's got trim, it's got pretty much everything you get on a truck back in the late 80s, early 90s. Pretty cool. Here's a Chevy heavy half, or GMC heavy half ton, very cool. El Camino camper special. This is just like my grandpa's old truck, except for his was green and light green. Another F100. Another F100. Cool old Dodge. And a DeLorean. That is super cool. So this is just the back overflow room of this collection. So don't worry, Mustang fans. I know there's a Mustang in here, and I said we're going to look at Mustangs, and here is another Mustang. There's a few scattered around in here, but we're actually going to go to a section of the warehouse that's just all Mustangs, including some of the rarest Mustangs ever made. Top dog, whose name is Roman. Hello. How are you? You gonna come with me? Okay, come on. So this is the Mustang portion of the collection. Most of the Mustangs are here. We saw a couple others scattered about, but this is where the bulk of them are. They range from the earliest Fastback 64.5 Coupes and 65 Fastbacks to modern muscle Mustangs, and some of the most significant Mustangs through all the generations. 1970 Mach One. This only has 5,200 original miles on it, never restored. 1966 Shelby GT350, green, beautiful car. Original window sticker still with it. 1967 GTA Coupe. Very cool. This though, 68 GT500 KR. Now KR stood for King of the Road, and this car definitely was. This one's equipped with an automatic. Absolutely gorgeous in that Highland green, I think it was called, the same color as the Bullet. Very, very cool car. Absolutely gorgeous, and that has a 428 Cobra jet in it. Next to that is a real 1969 Boss 429 in black. Very cool car. This 67 is interesting because it's a 67 S code, which is a 390 big block, but other than that, it has no options on it. Pretty basic car, except for it has deluxe interior with steel wheels. 1970 Fastback, 69 Mach 1, 73 convertible, and then this 79 pace car is absolutely amazing because it's mint condition, original, and still has the window sticker in it, which in 1979 would set you back $9,700. Not a bad deal for $9,700. 66 Mustang Fastback, very nice car, well optioned, factory air conditioning. Another 69 Mach 1, and this car, absolutely gorgeous, beautifully detailed, nice, all original, with the shaker, which is super cool, and white Mach 1 interior, which is not really my favorite preference, but it was an option. And yeah, no stripes on this one in 1969, kind of interesting. I don't know if that's factory or not. And this yellow 79 Mustang hatchback looks pretty basic, and it is. It's a pretty base model Mustang, but it's the 150 millionth Ford ever built, so pretty significant car. Next to it is a like 79 or 80 Ghia turbo. I mean, it's got the big hood scoop turbo. Now these are kind of neat because they're the 2.3 liter turbocharged motor. This one's actually got the vinyl roof. I mean, these are pretty deluxe cars for the era, even though they're kind of cheesy today. This is a brand new 1993 Mustang GT, window sticker still on it. How much was this in 1993? $23,032 for a 5.0 convertible GT in 93. 94 Mustang GT Coupe. Oh, no price on this one, must have been a special order. But again, brand spanking new, hardly any miles on it. 1993 Cobra. I mean, kind of a holy grail car in today's kind of collectors for the 80s. This car brand new, $21,055, and it'd be a deal at that today. Pretty well optioned car, sunroof, black, really cool. 93 Cobra. Pace car, Cobra, very cool. Indianapolis 500 pace car. Another Cobra, this is like a 94? 95 Cobra Coupe, $35,499 for a brand new Cobra back in 1995. Saleen S351 supercharged convertible, very cool. And then everybody knows the Cobra R. This car new back in 2000 was $54,995, and obviously super rare and very cool to see one that's brand spanking new. Mach 1, this is one of my favorite in that blue, very cool, like 2004 Mach 1. The 300 millionth vehicle built by Ford was also a Mustang, very cool. So this automatic V6 convertible was the 300 millionth Ford ever built. And then this says last car. I'm assuming that was probably the last of the body style built, but pretty cool. So it's not a bad little collection of Mustangs and another Bandit Firebird. So this is a pretty amazing collection of Mustangs, but which one would you guys take home for yourself? I mean, if I was going to go with one, it would definitely be the 68 GT 500 KR. It's just an iconic muscle car, but you've got a 93 Cobra, you've got Boss 429s, Saleen S351s, 2000 Cobra R, 66 Shelby GT350. Which one would you take home? Put it down in the comments below which Mustang you would take home from the collection, and we'll see which one gets the most votes. So that is NPD's collection. We are done here for the day. We're gonna get some lunch, and then we're headed to the hotel because tomorrow we have the Daytona 300.